What's going on YouTube? West Hobbies RC. So this is going to be part 2 to the T-Rex 760X rebuild. And so far we got the rest of the parts laid out on the table here. So we have our torque tube, of course. We still have to open that up. Brand new bearings already come on it. We just have to transfer over these little rubber things over, and then of course we have to measure from the end of the tube to the bearing, and then from bearing to bearing, and glue the bearings in place like the manual here says. So I have the manual out so that way I can measure accordingly and get everything glued in for the new torque tube, so that way we can slide it in the new boom. So of course we have the old torque tube, we have our new tail blades that came in the mail the other day, we have the old boom that we have to disassemble, we have a brand new feathering shaft that I need to switch out, brand new boom supports, we have the new arms, and of course the new tail boom laying back there. And then also I figured while we had it apart, I would go ahead, and I already replaced the bearings in the front case up here. I put 2 new bearings in it while I had it apart. I also put new bearings on the torque tube gears. So I figured I'd only had enough for 2, so I ordered a couple more. Figured I'll swap the rear bearings out back here because there is a little bit of a rough spot, and I don't know how many flights this helicopter has prior to when I received it. I know the gentleman that had it before me had it for about 2 years and he flew it a lot. So we are going to set a time lapse up here, and we are going to finish the rebuild of the 760X. Hopefully this video quality is much better for you guys. I apologize for the first part being dark. I'm learning this new camera and new editing. It's all new to me. So we're going to start the time lapse now. Okay, so this is where we're at so far. We have what you've seen in the time lapse was the tail boom, torque tube assembly, measured everything out, got the tail bearings put in the tail assembly gear back there, backlashed the tail gears, so they are perfect. Got the tail blades put on. I did that off camera, but got the tail blades put on. Still need to fix this fin where it delaminated the carbon until the new one comes in place, but it's the original push rod. There was no cracks or damage to the push rod at all, so I replaced the one end and put it back on. Got the new boom supports put in, everything's Loctited and bolted down. So now we're going to go ahead and start changing out the feathering shaft. Main shaft is already new. Feathering shaft is not bent, but I figured it was a very hard crash. We got a new one right here, might as well put it in. We're going to go ahead and throw the new arms on. I got my feathering shaft tool there, so we're going to go ahead and jump back on the time lapse and get the head finished up. Okay, so we got the feathering shaft put in, re-greased everything, re-Loctited everything, but I know in another video I said that the blade grip was okay. So the original arm got bent on this side and on this side. So I bought 2 brand new arms, had to replace the links as they were both broken at the bottom. I ended up replacing top and bottom because they came with the arms. Everything is brand new. So when I got this side done, Loctited, tightened down, everything was perfect, I moved on to this side. And as you can tell, the metal is a little crushed up right here. And I was like, okay, it's just a little crushed, it'll be all right. But now as you look, you'll see that one hole is bigger than the other hole. So in the crash, it did bend this arm up and it bent the bolt. So when I pulled it out, it looked like the first thread might have had a little damage, but the bolt went right back in, no problem. So I decided that it was okay because the bolt went all the way through the threads, not an issue. So when I went to put the new arm on, tighten it down, all the threads came out. It looks like it's a Healy coil inside, but I'm going to end up having to order a set of blade grips because not worth trying to fix it and risk crashing the helicopter again. So I'm going to go ahead, order another set of blade grips, and then we can finally finish this helicopter. But for now, it is done to this point. It is all back together. Still waiting on the receiver. I have another one brand new that I was going to throw on it, but since we have to wait for blade grips and replace one, probably going to replace both blade grips and just keep the other one that's good as a spare. But since we have to wait on blade grips, we're going to go ahead and just wait for the receiver, so it should be back this week as well. I did just notice that the black skids are in stock on Heli Direct. They just came back. So I will be ordering the black skids, get those switched out, even though the white's kind of growing on me, so I don't know. I'll order them, keep them on the shelf. But tail boom is back in, as I showed on the other part of the video. Tail system is all done, all blades are on. Everything moves super smooth and freely. All new bearings on the torque tube gears. New bearings inside the transmission block. So we're back to this point here. So that'll wrap up this video. I'm going to, in part 3, we'll get the ESC mounted, get the receiver mounted, get the blade grips done, and then we'll do the maiden flight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope the video quality is much better on this one. If you guys like the videos, please subscribe. It helps me out big time. Like the video, and take care and have a great day.